From the PEP Radio Newsroom, this is the afternoon news for September 9th, 2025, and these are the stories we are covering at this hour. Nepal's prime minister resigned Tuesday as protests against a short-lived ban on social media grew increasingly violent and expanded into broader criticism of his government and accusations of corruption among the Himalayan country's political elite. The resignation appeared to have little effect on the demonstrations. Tens of thousands of protesters remained on the streets late in the day, blocking roads, storming government buildings, and setting them on fire, and in some cases attacking political leaders. Army helicopters ferried some ministers to safe places. A day earlier, demonstrations led by young people angry about the blocking of several social media sites gripped the country's capital, and police opened fire on the crowds, killing 19 people. The ban was lifted Tuesday, but the protests continued, fueled by anger over the deaths and growing frustration with the political elite in the nation wedged between China and India. Rebels in eastern Congo, affiliated with the Islamic State group, killed at least 60 people in an attack overnight, an official said. The attack was carried by the Allied Democratic Force in Nitoyo in North Kivu after residents gathered at a burial. The ADF attack caused around 60 deaths, but the final toll will be given later this evening because the territory has just deployed services to the area to count the number of beheaded people. Colonel Alain Kiwiwa, a local administrator of the Lubero territory where Nitoyo is located, told the Associated Press. Here in the United States, economists are bracing for more bad news about the U.S. labor market numbers. Tuesday's preliminary revisions for job growth numbers reported for the 12 months through March of this year could reveal the labor market was sputtering well before Trump rolled out his tariffs. Analysts are forecasting that the Bureau of Labor Statistics will revise job gains downward by as much as 900,000. That would mean that private sector employment actually shrank on average in the past 3 months, and that job creation earlier in the year was weaker than currently reported, Fed Governor Christopher Waller said 2 weeks ago. Evidence is mounted that tariffs uncertainty has kept businesses from hiring as actively as they had been. When the Labor Department put out a disappointing July jobs report, that also included downward revisions, and enraged Trump fired the BLS economist in charge and nominated a loyalist to replace her. Yesterday, we reported that Governor Josh Shapiro's administration approved the use of hundreds of millions of dollars in capital project funding for Philadelphia's public transit agency to help it restore bus, trolley, and rail services that it had eliminated to shore up its deficit-riddled finances. The Southeastern Pennsylvania Transportation Authority, one of the nation's largest mass transit agencies with 800,000 daily riders, had made the request to comply with a judge's order to undo the 2-week-old cuts. A similar request is likely to come from the state's next largest public transit agency, Pittsburgh Regional Transit. Across the state, Pittsburgh Regional Transit said Monday that it is considering exactly that, a similar request from the state. It has been discussing a 35% service reduction to help close what it calls a roughly $100 million deficit this year. That could include eliminating 45 bus routes, reducing 54 others, and eliminating one of 3 light rail lines. That deficit will grow each year without more aid, and shifting money for capital projects is only a stopgap measure and not a sustainable plan, it said. Using capital funds for operations would only be a stopgap measure. Pennsylvania needs a long-term, reliable funding solution to provide the safe, reliable, and affordable service our communities depend on, the PRT said in a statement. And that's the news at this hour. If you are watching our news videos on YouTube, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. PEP Radio is available on the Live 365 app, the PEP Radio page at paequality.com, Roku, and Alexa. Up next, we have the Meadville area weather forecast here on PEP Radio.